Hello, good morning, and welcome to episode 26 of Timberborn Greedy Armageddon. Now, I am zoomed quite far in here, and I've also hidden the UI, largely because I have done quite a bit of terraforming today. Um, Including the hour of filming, I will have done about 7 hours today. So, quite a bit has happened. And I'm very excited to show everyone. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it, or right out to it, I guess. So, as we can see here, the donut is completely gone. There is no longer any extra terrain here, any vertical terrain in this area. It is completely flat. I have leveled this level of the map, excluding this area here, which we really haven't gotten to. So, I have also turned on this bad water source. Now, that was because if you remember the beginning of episode 25, I believe 25, was the start of a 200-day drought. And we did not end up having enough water, so what I did here was I turned that bad water source back on, and I ended up putting in this deep water pump here so that we could filter some more water, just so that we could pretty much guarantee survival through those 200 days. And here we are, pretty much at the end of a temperate cycle. I believe, let's see, I'm gonna bring the UI back here. Yeah, so we're at the beginning of 158-day drought. And all of this is done. Our storage wall is done. Just needs to be assigned, of course. Right. So I have built this contraption here, and all of these flywheels are built as well. So I'm actually going to get the game running here because all of the materials have been delivered to these 3 large flywheels here. They just need to be constructed. So I've got that going. Yeah, these are all high prioritized, right? So they should all. Is that 2 of the same Lepantiful Magic? Lepantiful Magic. That's pretty funny. Okay, well, if you are unaware, Lepantiful Magic, and I know I'm saying that wrong because it's French. He makes the Water Beavers mod, not Water Beavers. What are the White Paws? It's another modded faction, similar to Ember Pelts or Leaf Coats is a modded faction. So that's who he is. That's why he is a fancy color. Now, I'm just going to get rid of all of those because I want to collect the materials, because we are going to need as many logs, planks, and metal blocks as possible for the project that I have for this area. So yeah, this is going to be a big one. I do also want to do a little bit of terrain work here, but I'm not sure if it's this side or it's this side that needs to be brought closer in here. So I will figure that out and then get back to you all. Now, this area, I want to do quite a bit to this area, and I think I actually need to open this one, yes. So, you know what, I could actually delete that wall. No, not yet. Okay, so what I want to do, let's see if I bring the layers down here and turn the water off. So, what I'd like to do is bring the terrain up this way so that it's less area here to fill up with water. Same with this circular portion here as well. I find that at the end of a bad tide, these 3 circular shapes here take 4 or 5 days to actually clean themselves out, and I think it's largely due to the water source being here and the exit being directly next to it. I think bad water gets stored in this area, and then it's just too contaminated for these sluices to open and this sluice to close. So What I want to do is just bring the terrain over, and then we'll have maybe 3 or 4 blocks here to have water go through. And then I mentioned that one already. I do think I would like to keep this one as it is. Now, I do also want to bring the diversion just straight out this way. And then, of course, the one below. This is just unnecessarily long. So, yeah, there's no point in it going around this anymore. We did it like this. You all watched this. You know why. Because there was, of course, the large mountain here. So, we were going around the mountain. One thing that I also think is kind of funny is you can't place dirt on top of a impermeable floor, but you can place dirt on top of a levee. It's not going to let me do it because I have a path on top of it, but regardless, interesting that you can't do that. So anyways, it is what it is. Now, I do also know that majority of this terrain is pointed downwards, and a good portion of it is going to need to be reoriented. So I think I'm just going to do this, and then we'll change the orientation this way. They should be able to do all of this. I'm just going to bring a path down here. Right. This won't be doable. Okay, so we'll flip that around. I don't think this might be doable. I'm just going to leave that. This will all get finished, that's fine. All of this will, yeah, I really thought it was more than just this little bit here. Okay, alright. Well, regardless, that's fine. Now, one other very big thing. We are up to 153 bots. That's because I added a 4th bot assembler, and I think I added actually 3 part assemblers. And to go with those consumption, I have added gear, plank, metal, and treated plank production here in this area. I do believe in episode 25 you all watched me put this in. I did, however, end up adding these 2 more for treated planks because we were full. But of course we've done now all of this and all of this. So of course we are completely empty with the treated planks. So with that, what I need to do is, oh, I did also, let's see, I added these 4 refineries, still with the same Spatterdock biofuel recipe. I removed the refinery that was here. There's no point in having that. Wow, has this herbalist been... Okay, we're just gonna pause you. Let's see, what is this? Antidote, berries, dandelions. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, I did also add this. So all of these are now producing honey, which is fantastic. I did add quite a few gear storages down here, and then this one is for honey cakes, which is a mod, which is here, produced in the bakery. We were waiting to do this because I didn't have cattail flour, but of course now we have cattail in our very large reservoir here. They did end up building all of this and the 2 aquatic farmhouses. So yeah, we've got quite a bit here. I do also need to unpause these, so I'm gonna do that here in a moment very quickly. I think this was on camera. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so we do have now quite a few hauling posts. I didn't add any... Oh, I closed that. Why did I close that? Okay, alright, well. Anyways, let's see. So, berries... Okay. I didn't do anything with the builder's huts. Everything that is in the ground, or on the ground, rather, should have been in the last episode or in a previous episode. What else? This, of course, was increased. I do need to put in another mine. So I'm actually going to flip this around. There we go. And then set to bots and scrap metal. Perfect. Really? I guess that's kind of my fault. Anyways. So yeah, this needs to be built relatively quickly. I think I'm also just going to delete this ladder here so that they have no way down here into the bad water. So let's see, this is going to take 300 treated planks, which I just barely have. 450 gears, fantastic. We've got plenty of gears. 300 logs is just under half of my entire log storage. So that's sort of an issue. But you know what? That's fine. Let's see. I do also want to pause quite a few of these gear workshops just because I want to save some planks. Because again, my project for this area is going to take quite a few. Let's see. Oh, I can now start working on this. So what I'm just going to do is just delete all of this. Oh wait, let's see. I don't want to delete that path though. Although I guess it's not difficult to put back in, so let's see. This should all go out just fine, and we shouldn't have any water leakage. No. Doesn't look like it. Okay, awesome. So what I want to do with this, eventually I think I'd like to fill this back in with terrain so that we don't have this hole here. But in order to do that, what I'm going to need to do is bring in a ladder here. I think, yeah, too short. There we go. Then bring this along. Now, I'm still in the habit of prioritizing things that I need done quickly, so I'm just going to do that, excluding this terrain block. Then scroll down here, if we can, and do this. There we go, so we can get all of those materials back. I am going to do this one and this one. Okay, then come back up. So that does mean I need to recollect planks here, although I could move it closer. Yeah, so actually we're just going to delete that one, and we'll delete this one too. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think we should need another large. I think the mediums will be fine. So let's see, let's get those collected there. And it does look like I'm actually running low on bot limbs. So maybe we need to bring in another limb. Another bot part factory for limbs. So let's just do that. Set limbs, there we go. Alright, let's get all of this prioritized and set to bots. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. If we come over here, you haven't been constructed yet. And I don't think I want to prioritize. Maybe I should. Maybe I should prioritize the mine. I probably should. Yeah. Maybe we'll just give it just a little bit of priority. Because it's not a huge one, but it does need to happen quickly. So that we can start producing more metal blocks, because we are running very low. Now, I do also want to add, so I want 6 total along here, so this is going to count as 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. Now, I want to have my smelter here. And I totally was supposed to count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm going to do 10. 8, 9, 10. So, with all of these added, I'm now going to need to match the production of treated planks. And that's because, of course, the mine uses treated planks to produce scrap metal, which is yet another bottleneck of ours because our pine tree population is very small. So I'm going to need to put in quite a few more pine trees. And originally I was intending to use this area for pine trees, and I think if I add maybe one more layer here, that the water will still irrigate everything. And I know it's going to be a little bit hard to judge just because the water's here and I'm trying to irrigate everything based on this reservoir. So we'll see. I'm not very confident with that. But looks like plank storage? Really? Okay. All right. Well, what I wanted to do regardless was put in quite a few plank, log, and metal block storages over in this area just so that we can start filling them for this project. Now, I think I've mentioned this project in previous episodes, but I'd rather keep it a secret until we can start building it. So, what I'm going to do is just rearrange this path here and then set in underground piles. I should do a bit of math, but I'm not 100% sure exactly how big I want to build this thing. I know it's going to be large, so we'll see. So I'm just going to do this for now. We'll see how many more. No, looks like I can't get that one. What do we need over here for? Oh, just those 2 blocks. That's fine. We can do that. Okay, get this set in there. Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to bring this path along here, connect it there, and all of this here. Okay. Now, I'm also going to set one of these to each of the 3 things that I need, or one row to each of the things that I need. So, there we go. We'll do this one. I think we're just going to do planks here, since planks are what we are full on. There we go. This one's going to be metal blocks. Doesn't really matter what's what in terms of placement. It just needs to be in this general vicinity so that it's easier to build. The beavers don't have to walk as far. I do think I need to set up more forestry. So let's see. Those are now all set. We get rid of that one. These are all planks. These are all metal blocks and all logs. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to prioritize these so that happens quickly. Let's see. Oh, this needs to be obtain explosives. Obtain extract. Fantastic. Now we double check that. No, I have not. Okay. All right. Needed to double check that I didn't pause all of the explosives factory and centrifuges. So let's see. Let's just get this one out of the way, guys. Come on. Let's see. I do also want to put in an industrial pile for planks. There we go. And then we'll set that to obtain, and we'll just have to remember to mark that for prioritization. Let's see. Did I put the runs of this ladder? Oh no, I'm far away. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's see. They have... Those are all planks and everything anyways. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. They're doing this. Are we still? No, we're not. 3 times speed. Ooh, how long have I been in double? That's Interesting. Okay. So, hopefully our, yes, gear storage is going down. That's intentional. I just don't want to have all of these in here. Let's see. This is honey. What else did I have? Ooh, they're just not collecting this. Okay. Maybe, do we need to mark each of these for priority? Let's just do it. Yeah, oh yeah, they literally came and did it right after I did it. Okay. Oh. Is this gonna be a workplace? Huh. I was intending to come into this panel here and then just mark all of these. That's what this bell icon is. Is for prioritize building my haulers. But I'm actually not sure even if this would be in here. So let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hauling post, herbalist. No, it's not in here. Okay, alright. Well, hard way it is then. I guess I could check to see if it's in one of the other tabs. But I don't think it will be. So I'm just gonna come here and do this the long way, which is fine. It's just, you know, a million clicks. Not really, but, you know. Okay, and then those three I already did. Fantastic. Alright. So, these are now all spinning. We have finally come to a point where we are no longer producing excess power. I mean, we're down by 7. And I bet you once the building... Oh no, because everything here is... Well, this one isn't really working much. But only takes 60 HP anyways. So let's see. 47, 43, 4800. Yeah, so we are now less. So we should be drawing from these. Right, so what that means is we need a way to connect everything together. Because this one produces 25,000 and only uses 6,600. So that needs to happen. So let's see if we can't come in here actually. And try and find a way. Probably gonna end up being over here. This just needs to go. This needs to go. So you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just get rid of all of this. There we go. Now all of that water is going to disappear. Okay, so I think the easiest solution is one of these. Actually, something like this. We do that, and then that, and then this. That's going to be our easiest solution. So what that means is a ladder right here. That's a staircase to get up to these upper two, higher two. And then we'll get all of this. I prioritized. Let's see, I don't think I'm gonna need, yeah, they can reach all of that. Okay, this is also one thing I did during the portion that I cut out. This is all planks and metal blocks. Storage. I did also change these from dirt to metal blocks. Because I had an abundance of metal blocks, but now clearly I don't. So, let's see. How are we still low on bot limbs? They take gears and planks, which we've got millions of. Not literally, but, you know. So, interesting. And these are, yeah, still taking all of our resources. This is only a high priority, where these are very high. Okay, so maybe we just give them maybe another day or so to finish this before we start prioritizing everything else. I have a feeling they're going to be pretty much done. Yeah, majority of this looks like it just needs to be constructed. This is getting all of its materials momentarily. Right, yeah. So, yeah, let's see. These 4. Thank you, 4. This one just needs, yeah, a couple of things. Okay, so yeah, those are all going to get done preferably today. Most likely. Kind of surprised they haven't started on this, but it was the second and third last things that I did, so it's not that surprising. You know what? I probably should. Let's see if I put one of those. Do I need a double? Yeah. So a double, and then if I do a 2x1 overhang, that should give me a way to do that. Perfect. Okay. So we just made that path just a little bit shorter. I'm gonna line these up so that it, you know, OCD type of thing. Okay, I think I can also get rid of these two paths here. That was unintentional. Hello? Why can I only do one at a time? There we go. Okay. Alright, then put that path back in. Let's see if we can... Yeah, that's... Materials are already there, folks. Materials are already there. That is a very big pet peeve of mine, that they put materials in these places and then proceed to not use them. Or not, finish building them. But I guess that is kind of my fault for giving them so many things to do and only so much time to do it. Which I think I did in the portion I cut out. I set the working hours to 16, which seems to have been a good thing. Why are they not putting planks in here? Are they going all the way over here? Yeah, this one. That's so funny. Okay, alright, well, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. Can we scroll down here? Oh, they've actually gotten fairly far. Alright. So, we'll just do that. I do also want to... Let's see if we do... I think 8. I want to put in... terrain. There we go. So, they should be building this. Right, yeah, so they'll start here and then have to work their way this way. But then they'll build this one and then that one, I think. Because they can't build the one at the top without building the one below it. Is that going to work? You know what? You know what I could do? This is 2 levels. So, what I think is going to be the easier option. Take all of that out, remove the path. Hello. There we go. Then we'll do something like this. Now, this does mean that the top layer is going to need a little bit of micromanaging, but I think that'll be fine. So let's see if we do. We'll do 8. Yes, perfect. Okay, and then I intentionally put the arrows this way because this means that they should build this one first and then build everything else. I don't think... Yeah, they can reach that one, so hopefully they don't do that. Now, I want to put this back in this direction. There we go. Okay. Couple more, that's good. We'll just do one of those and bring this back up. Okay, so we do have 167,000 signs. What I'm gonna do is just unlock everything that we can. Come in here to landscaping. Storage is done. This is district crossing. I'm not intending to use multiple districts, but we'll do it anyways. Advanced breeding pod, which of course we are not using, have not used since like the 5th or 6th episode, all of these large iron teeth housing, which I don't intend to use. I don't intend to actually increase the population really anymore. If anything, I'm just going to delete these 4 houses that are here. So that'll bring the population down. What is this? 9. So 18 and 12 is 30. So it should go down to 230-ish, give or take. So let's see. Housing, we were just in water. We did the Badwater Dome, which is the Folktales variant of the Badwater Discharge, which we are not using. Food is Beehive, which I'm not actually going to use because the Honey Hive actually gives us the same benefits and chance of injury that the regular Beehive does, while also producing honey. So, of course. And then hydroponic garden, I don't have a use for the hydroponic garden at the moment. So maybe, hopefully, in the future, we'll get that moving. Coffee brewery as well. I don't have any coffee plants. And I kind of wasn't intending on doing coffee, but we probably should just for that well-being boost, which of course we are now up to 31, and I believe 31 was the highest. I don't think I ever saw it any more than 31, which is of course because we added the 2 new foods. So let's see if we get out of that. Printing press. I did want to get into that so that we can get our bots lasting a little bit longer. We've got all of those. I have absolutely no use for these large water wheels, but I'm going to unlock them anyways. I do have the regular large water wheel, and I do have the mod by Bobbing About that adds the extra power connection points to this side of the power wheel. Now, this is also another mod, of course. That adds a levy to... Hello? Okay. That adds a levy to this area. But as you can tell, the differences between that one and the vanilla one... Right, so just looks different. I don't think they function any differently, but... yeah, anyways, those aren't going there. The small turbines, I absolutely love these things. We can click and drag them, and then water runs across them and produces power. So if you have something that's like 1 deep, 1 by 1, deep and wide, you can put these in here, and then power connects to the end. So yeah, that's a mod. I absolutely love these things. I use them way too much in my personal playthroughs. So let's see. This powered levy is a mod. It's actually the same mod that has the power wheel with levy and the small turbine. And then universal powered levy is another mod or another function of the mod that's there. Gravity batteries are completely useless in my opinion, since we have the flywheels mod. So I'm just gonna unlock it, even though we're not ever going to use it. So let's see. Let's just get all of these small flywheels of various sizes. I do intend on using at least this one. Probably not this one. I do have a couple uses for this one, which I can't put because it takes 2 supports, 1 on either side. And then this one I do also have a use for. So we'll get rid of those. This is a vertical flywheel, small one, but not going to use those either. Science, let's see. So Grease Factory is for the bots. We'll get that one. Control Tower. It consumes science, so I'm not going to actually put this anywhere until we can get a more reliable source of science, which of course is going to be number crunchers. I am going to unlock the observatory, and I think this might be fun way to just give the beavers something to do. I do intend on having quite a few more bot part factories and assemblers. Of course, along this, and then you saw me put in these junctions. I'm gonna put in more flywheels. We're gonna need them. So, I do want to have more bots. I want to have bots run everything. I don't want to have any of the bio beavers doing anything. So that's what I'm thinking of, just having a fun way for them to work, maybe 3 or 4 hours in a day just to produce science. So let's see. There is quite a few things in well-being that we are going to unlock. And I'm not really going to touch every single one because I will give them just a little bit of an explanation when we actually go through them. So I'm just going to get all of this. Perfect. Now, monuments. These are where we're going to use quite a bit of our science. So let's see. Up to 3,000, there's 12. The Fountain of Joy we did actually unlock quite a bit ago. And I don't think I mentioned that I put this one in. So this will be there. I do want to put in a little bit more farming up in this area too. So we'll have that on this side. But anyways, sidetrack. Now, we get into wonders here. This is the Earth Recultivator. This is the Folktales version of the Wonder. And then we have the Earth Repopulator, which is the Iron Teeth version. And I think we're going to be using both here on this map. I'm not sure exactly where. So those, we'll see where we go with those. All right, so we have also, let's see if I bring the water back. There we go. So they haven't started on this terrain. Okay, let's get this going because I know that the top layer is going to need some babysitting. And I don't really want to have to deal with that for too long. Let's see, I bet you are going to need, yeah, path increase. There we go. So they now should be able to reach all of that. So, ooh, you know what I could do? Just put in a single dynamite along here. That's probably going to be the easiest way to actually do all of that without babysitting anything. So, yeah, we'll do that. Even though I did just put this dirt in. Yeah, that's going to be the easiest way. All right, so let's get rid of this path here. And I bet you we can just get rid of all of this. And just put this in an easier direction. So let's see, let's bring this up. Let's high prioritize this. So that we can get this going as soon as possible. Let's also just put this in here. I'm just going to do like this. There we go. They should be able to do most of that. Let's see. This I set to highest priority, so they should do this quickly. This has been constructed, however, and set to bots. Fantastic. So that means, yeah, scrap metal's going up. Treated planks needs to come up. So I think what we need to do is get this prioritized so that we can get power over to these smelters. I'm also going to end up needing to put in a few more wood workshops. And subsequently, let's see, let's just do 5. Yeah. And then, of course, like I said, when I mentioned putting the rest of this in, more pine resin. Because, of course, we've got 36 down from the 12 or 1300 that we had quite a while ago. So let's see, somewhere that's going to be irrigated for a while. You know what? Let's just... Should we get this? Let's just do this. Because this is where I want them to be anyways. I do also want it to span out into this way as well. This, of course, just needs to be irrigated, which is one more thing that I needed to work on. This area is going to be irrigated, but what I need to do is this needs to be filled in So I'm going to wait until we can get all of this water out to start doing that. Let's see. We're waiting on this one, which of course is too far. Figures. Okay, we'll just do something like that. And this should hopefully get done by the end of tomorrow. So, of course, we are going into nighttime. Wish I could speed it up a little bit more. Although I technically could. If I go into the developer mode, I can click 4, which gives me 30 times speed, and then 5, which gives me 99 times speed. But I don't think we are that desperate. So, it is, yeah, night's already over. So, let's see. This one. I bet you one of these 3 guys is going to come do this. I hope. Yes, looks like it. Okay. Perfect. Wow, look at that. Water recede. Okay. So definitely going to need some irrigation to come over into this area. And we do also need to think about this not being here because this is not permanent. This will go as soon as this project, which is somewhat in coordination with this project, but this one should only require logs to build. So, let's see. Anyways, let's get this detonated. We're going to start, I think I'm going to start from here. There we go. Oh, wow. He made it. Oh, just by the hair on his chinny chin chin. So, let's see if I get all of this in here. Okay. So, I do then want to prioritize all of this. Perfect. And I bet you half of these, yeah, this one does. This one does. You know. All of these that have materials that just need to be constructed. So let's see if we can just get all of these. I didn't even think, yeah, this one didn't. There we go. Yeah, these just need to get done, folks. Just need to get done. This one, no. Okay. So, what I can do here. I put these in, but I might want to increase the width of this. So maybe that's going to change. Let's see, what building lacks workers? Probably a building. Yes, okay, that's fine. No big deal. No big deal. Oh my gosh. Pine resin. I have forgotten about this like 3 times. Okay, so let's see, what's here? Logs and planks, and this is logs, planks, and gears. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that large tank and all of this pathing. Construction lacks materials. What? Dirt? Oh, I do have very little dirt. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because that's going to take them quite a while to pick up. So I'm just going to prioritize that. I do also want to get this path set up in here. Oops, not that. There we go. Okay, and then have this run along this way, and then get you connected there. Okay, so I'm going to put in a forester. That's not really centered, but it's fine. So we'll do that. I'm gonna put in pines, of course, just here, and then straighten out this path here because that's gonna bother me. Let's see. Let's get this in there. And get rid of that. I don't think a fair bit maybe of this is going to be doable, but this sure won't. But that's fine. I do also want to put in a tapper shack on each side. So maybe more like, we'll do that instead. Get rid of this one. There we go. So this is all going to get prioritized as well. Let's see, so biofuel, that was over here. That needs a storage. You know what, I did start setting some of these to bots, so maybe what we do is, let's put a storage here. We'll set it to that side and then that one to that side. There we go. Okay. So we'll get those in. We'll set those to biofuel. I do want to get another large one set to fuel, however. So maybe what we do. Oh, good. All of that got done. Perfect. Perfect. So now we are producing 38,111. And that's with, doesn't seem, yeah, these are producing half-ish, just under half of what they should be doing. So that's fine. We'll give them a little leniency. This number should increase. So let's see. You have nothing to do in right. Dude, just chill out for a second. He hasn't even put any trees in. See? Just give him a minute. Okay, so that was one thing I did also do, is I removed all of the tree cutting areas so that it is just the areas that actually have trees to get cut. It also looks like none of this is getting cut too, which makes sense because it's not really in range. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, also, when did that happen? I could have sworn I put this in the correct spot. Maybe it's just has to do with all of this that got put in. I'm not exactly sure, but it's fine. Let's see. So you've put in a few trees. Yeah, figures. Okay, so biofuel, no good selected, 52. That's more. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be obtain biofuel. This is going to be built, so I'm not going to do it yet. I just need to make sure that I actually see when that goes from 51 to 52. I think, no, I won't be able to fit in another one there. So maybe what we'll do is just put it on this side. Now, I don't really like that there. We'll put it here. We'll get this going, this for biofuel. Perfect. Okay, now this is up to 52. This one was set to obtain biofuel. Perfect. Okay, so this should hopefully just be, yeah, just biofuel. Okay, how many can they hold? Why did I click on that? We can hold 3. Okay, well, not fantastic, but it's fine. Okay, so I do also want to bring, let's see, we'll do that. We need to bring a path along here and around this way so that we can collect all of this. I'm somewhat just stalling so that we can give them a little bit more time to produce dirt. Because we did run out, and then now, of course, we have actually 0. Oh no, 10. There we go. Because I want all of this to be done. And then I do also want to come down in here and check on this, which is all done. Perfect. I should be able to delete all of these platforms, but I think I'm going to leave it and just delete the path. So let's see, we'll do that, this, that. Okay. Oh. Okay. That's fine. Let's see. I'm going to come in here. I want that on top of that. And then dirt's going to have to come along this way and then be the seal for that. Okay, so we just need to remember not to delete that one terrain block, or that could be very bad. So actually, what we're going to do, I'm going to put in a double platform, then a impermeable floor, and impermeable floor, then a levee on top. That way, if I accidentally delete that levee, I'll still have the impermeable floor underneath to prevent all of the bad water. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable idea. So let's see, we've got 13 out of energy. Not exactly ideal, but I think it's fine. Oh, it's this one. Huh. Okay. Let's see, what are you carrying? Pine resin. Pine resin as well. But you're actually out of both fuel and electricity. Okay. So I probably need to have something over here for the bots to charge. Although, maybe not. Maybe it needs to be in this area. I think it needs to be here, actually. So, you know what? Since we've got that Beaver hospital over there, I'm going to get rid of all of those and then put in some charging stations here. There we go. So, I'm hoping... Although, they're coming... Where's my pine resin storage? This one? No. That... No. One of these? No. Where's my pine resin storage? This one. So I bet you they're either coming there or coming down to one of these three. Three, which is one thing I did. I added this one. Yeah, forgot to mention that. So are these not prioritized by haulage? Man, I am just lacking on that. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. How has this one still not gotten built? Wait a minute. Highest priority, please. Just finish it. Okay. All right. That's fine. Let's see. They've got fuel over here, although I bet you it would probably be a good idea to produce some fuel over here. Or what I really could do is unpause this hauling post. And then what I should do is set these to bots. And then what I should do is get going with tubeways, preferably. But I think zip lines would be sufficient. Even though it would be just a little bit more difficult to actually get them usable. So they've made progress on this, which is good. So maybe, let's see if I can do this as well. Just temporarily do it like that. There we go. Okay, so now all of that's connected. Let's see, this just needs, what, like a half a block to get under that. Okay. I think we might be at the point. Did they collect all of the... Yes. Okay, I'm also not going to let you guys sit here for the next 30 days. Or, 19. But regardless. I think we're at the point where we might need to start producing a couple more bots. Even though these really aren't producing. Yeah, about 60 each. 60, 65. So you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. There we go. We'll do... There we go. Okay. That over. Bring this in for bots, workplace, and construction priority set to highest, and then high prioritize all of that as well. Okay. All right. Let's see. So they've definitely... I knew they were working on this one. That's fine. I am going to bring a path along here that should... Yeah. And they use it immediately. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay, so, I'm just gonna put these in. I think I only want this too tall. But then of course going to deprioritize because I don't want these built just yet. I just want them in. Hopefully they didn't start on these in the 0.2 seconds that they had now. So I want these in just because I want to start laying out. I know I want more here. And then of course this project is going to be 4 or 5 episodes by itself. Or well, it's definitely going to take 4 or 5 hours to actually complete construction. But I don't think it's going to take more than maybe half of an episode to actually lay out the plans. So yeah, that should be fine. Let's see, is this out of reach? That's fine. All of this needs to be prioritized because they just need to do it. And then this one as well. Yeah, they just need to have other things to do. So you know what? Let's come over here. I don't really necessarily want to move. I might just end up making this all like powered food production. And then have this all be industry and bot production and bot things. So you know what? I think I'm just gonna delete this. Delete this large paper warehouse, and I think we'll keep the gear warehouse. I do, however, need to set one of these to paper. There we go. Okay, then come over here and prioritize collection of all of that. There we go. So, oh, and all of those bot stations, and they're using them. I knew it. So, okay. This is all going to be planks from the little mountain that's here. Seeing how all of these are used makes me somewhat wonder if I just need more charging stations. That's the word that I'm looking for. So I wonder if I just need more charging stations. So you know what? Let's do it here. So let's get rid of that. And then if I come to the right menu here, charging station. Can we fit multiple of them? Yes. Okay, so we'll do, I'm just gonna go overkill here. And if you thought we were done, far from. So each of these takes a constant draw of 50 HP. So I think I might end up needing to add maybe an engine or two. Although 2 engines not going to do much. Let's see. Let's get all of these unpaused here. And then pause these, so that we can take use of all of that water that's here. Okay, so all of this needs to be connected. And then those two need to be actually built. So hopefully, since those are highest priority, what else do we have that's highest priority? I could actually rearrange this a bit. No. So yeah, looks like at least one of these is going to get done here momentarily. Let's see, let's get all of these logs picked up. All of those, I don't even know what these are. Planks. Why do we have planks here? Has this been here since we had the suspension bridge here? That's hilarious. Okay, really, man, you couldn't have built that. Okay. Oh wait, I do also need to. Oh, think these are technically connected now. So let's see, that is 5086, this is 602, this is 38, yeah. Okay, so that's gonna get built, all of that's gonna get collected, hopefully. Hopefully. Yes. Okay. Now I wanted to put one here as well. And I think I need to at least prioritize, let's see, these few here. Yeah, that should connect that, this whole string, to this one. And then this one is going to bring power along this way, connecting all of those to all of those. Okay, so yeah, that should be fine. We'll see. I'll be proven wrong. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this area, this is almost done, actually. Oh, you know what I should have done? I shouldn't have done that. Because this area is going to be different. Although, it's platforms, so I can just put impermeables on top. Okay, so I have made a fool of myself and then talked myself into a solution. Okay, so let's just get all of that now collected here. So, what I want this to be is... there's like no water in that. Okay, I'm just gonna... because they're not gonna do it right now anyways. I'm just gonna do this here. This needs to be 3 tall and then come on this side and do this. There we go. That's all of that. And then we'll do those 2 blocks. Once everything else gets completed. Let's see. Oh, this needs to go back in. There we go. You guys building those things? Yes, you are. Okay, so I don't want to really necessarily delete that path just yet. Now, what I do want to do, what I need to do, is get this land irrigated. So, what I'm going to do, let's see, if we count in here 10. I don't want it to be 10. Maybe we'll do just 7 or 8. So, let's see, so this is 10. That should be 7. Okay. Then if I come, so that's 7, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is it not letting me click and drag? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm gonna leave those 3 like that. I guess, you know what? How tall is this path? This is 15. So it's what? 6 and 8? 6 and... yeah. Oh, 6 and 6. Okay, even better. Alright, so that's gonna come... I'm gonna delete that because I don't want that. I do, however, want this to all be oak trees. So I'm just gonna put this in here. They definitely can't reach any of that. Yeah. Right, okay. So, this is then going to come straight out here. Okay, so I was also thinking of having this come. So let's see, what is that for? Huh. So I don't really want this to be 2. So maybe what we do instead, just get rid of all of that. I do think I want to keep this bridge in here, or this aqueduct, I think is what this would be referred to as, an aqueduct. So, this is going to change, however. And I should probably just start on this. So I'm going to bring this down so that hopefully we can avoid some contamination. So let's see if I bring... have to come down. I think maybe there, right? How many levels is that? 1, 2, 3, 3. So we'll do something like this. I think is going to be our best option, and then we'll have levees around that. Or no, not levees. Probably just platforms. Yeah, probably just platforms. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want one more so that it can be just 2 triple platforms. There we go. Okay. So hopefully that's now where I want it to be. I do want all of this to be oaks. So that's going to come... We'll do this. Well, actually... Yeah, all of that's going to be oaks. So we'll just have it come up to the mine. There we go. Okay, so that means this area needs to be irrigated as well. So let's just see how far across this is. So let's see if we do something like that. We can see it's 22. Okay, so half of 22 is 11. You know what, let's see if I do 3 wide. Let's do, that's 19 then. So we'll do 4. Right, so then that's 18, then divided by 2 is 9. Okay, so if I come here with 9, I'm just going to delete that momentarily. I know everything just freaked out. So let's see if we do 4 there, and then we'll just put this path right back in there. Okay, so 4, this needs to come out far enough to reach all of this. So I think we'll do something like that. Okay, and then this can come out here. And then these 4 mean that I'm actually going to take those out and replace them with tunnels, since they're going to be a path anyways. Now, to get water into this area, I originally had this coming down this way, but I don't really like that. So that would also mean that I need to get rid of some trees here, which I'm not exactly keen on doing. So let's see. This is also going to need a path in here so that all of this is reachable. There we go. Okay. So this needs to be connected. I am so very glad that mute button works. I was also thinking about rearranging this, because I think we can get this lower. I'm pretty sure. So you know what? Let's just test here. So if I do, what is this? 3 and then 6 overhangs, 3 tall. Where is it? Down here so I can see the platforms. These are triples. Okay, but if I do doubles here. These aren't gonna work. No, so I can't. I can't at all. Okay, I really thought that was doable. But I guess I had that like that for a reason. So, let's see. Oh, these are not all set to bots. I'm gonna get all of these set to bots. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're up to 164 bots. I feel like each of these normally handles about 50. So I'm wrong. We are at 164 working bots. We're actually at 180 total bots. So that makes sense. 5, 10, 15, 20. That doesn't actually make sense. Why is this not producing an extra 50? Huh. Okay, well, you know what, that's fine. This one's almost at 100 working hours. hours, and it's not up to. Oh, interesting. Okay, alright. Well, I will see how that ends up working out. Interesting. Did I collect all that paper? Yes. Okay, alright. I do think I want to eventually bring all of this over here. Maybe just not yet. How full of... Oh, we've got almost 5,000. Huh. You, sir, are still not done. That's somewhat astonishing. Can't get pine resin. Yeah, I know. I know. Huh. Okay, alright, well, nothing we can really do about pine resin at the very moment. This is almost done growing, and then it's only going to take maybe like 8 more days to produce fruit, so that's fine. We'll just leave that as it is. That will be fine. Let's see, what are all they building now? The dirt, okay. So let's get this prioritized. There we go. And then I want to do all of these as well so that we can start working on... this is pretty much going to be like a contamination barrier, if you will. Or at least I hope. I may end up needing to put in contamination barriers anyways. But I don't think so. I don't think... Because the contamination goes up, and I think we've got, what, 6 or 7 blocks in height. So if it goes... So it won't even be able to... It'd have to go across and then up these surrounding blocks. Yeah, I really don't think it's going to be able to do that, so I think we'll just let them finish putting in all of this dynamite. Let's see. Well, maybe not all of it. This might take a hot minute, especially because, yeah, we've got 30 beaver vacancies. And of course we've set it up to be nothing but builders that are removed first. So, you know what? Maybe we just think about a way. I think what I might do is just take the easy route and do one of those. Which of course this then needs to be a platform. Not a platform, a tunnel, which I guess is a platform. So we'll do that, and then we'll get those. And then I think what we'll do in this area is something similar to this. Well, this, really. I think maybe have... I'm going to end up putting platforms in here anyways, so I should have just put those as tunnels. Oh well, that's fine. We'll survive. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to delete all of this, because then they're going to have to pick it all up again, and it's just not going to be fun. But you know what will be fun? Less amusing than I was hoping, but it's fine. Let's see, so they do have just a little bit left in here, but of course they're doing this because I prioritized this, and this was put in first. Okay, well, this should all be done in episode 27, and then I want to get started on this area, because this is going to take a bit of planning now that I have this here, so we'll see how that works. But on that note, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in episode 27.